I never swung so hard at love. All you did was wreck me. Ooh, 99% at 928. Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. Yeah, welcome. Welcome. Sorry. I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Hold up. Hold up. Hold the phone. Did I do this wrong? No, I did it. All right. So Pisces, this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for people who find themselves on my video without any Pisces anything, but you're just really hella resonating. That means message for you. I'm just getting the cards ready. Pisces, I'm being told you're coming in on a wrecking ball. I think Pisces is getting ready to F stuff up. F stuff up. F stuff up. Okay. Truth is about to come out. All right. There we go. Don't be making this no twin shit again. I'm not opposed to the topic at this point, but I think people need a little bit more than just a fixation on some sort of connection. Okay, we need a little bit more than that. We need some substance, some depth. Yes. Hey, Naive. Thank you. All right. So. Fucking A. I knew it. I knew it. You came in on a wrecking ball. You never swung so hard at love. All you did was wreck me. And you wrecked me. Okay, you didn't wreck shit. Okay, let's just get going with the reading. Do-do-do. Da-da-da-da. You're the whisper of a summer breeze. You're the kiss that puts my soul at ease. Okay. It's just almost done, guys. Almost done. 2 more. Why? Shit. Oh. Okay. Ooh, these 2 fucking cards again. Y'all are... there was another card that's... Okay. My dyslexia. Put the cards in backwards. That's fine. Came out again. All right. Here goes, guys. All right. One more shuffle, a messy ass shuffle. All right. That was too messy. Too messy. Okay, so 2, 2. Let's see what this mess is, because the cards are messy right now. Talk about there. Okay. So, I'm sorry, guys. I was being manipulative just now. So, 2 of the Twin Flame cards came out. The other one I ignored. The other one I ignored. And then this one came out and Michael's like, you better not. So whatever. So card number 13, power of attraction. There are things that are being drawn to you right now. I want to say they're things and not people. I don't feel like it's healthy to fixate on people. Sorry, just moving on my... I don't feel like it's healthy to just continue to fixate on people. I feel like you have to make sure that every aspect of your journey is being accounted for. The aspects that are beyond divine counterpart topics. Okay. So there you go. And then we have card number 16, embrace oneness with the universe. Didn't this come out yesterday as well? Okay, so it's becoming time to take the steps towards something, okay? Again, I'm saying something, not someone. It's up to you if you want to assign this message to a specific individual, all right? The truth is about to come out. I don't know what the truth is. Well, that would require someone needing to go on someone else's. You put me in really compromising positions consistently, Michael. Okay, so you're about to be given proof. The proof of what, I don't know, but some sort of proof. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of like post or you're going to see something online that kind of makes you understand the truth of whatever you're needing clarity on. For some, it might involve like looking, I don't even want to say it. That's just so horrible. That's fucking horrible advice. Whatever. So it's up to you guys what you want to do with this information. Like I said, for some of you, you're going to become so curious. You're going to go to someone's profile and you're going to look. You're going to go to their social media and you're going to look. There's a potentiality you're going to see something that will give you confirmation that things are actually not the way you believe them to be. Okay, so yeah. I have to kind of play the devil's advocate right now. Yeah, this might be something along the lines of you're seeing that they've actually moved on. You're seeing that maybe they really didn't give a shit about you. Well, if you didn't want me to have a pocket full of pins, why'd you leave the fucking pins in my pocket? Michael says I'm being pocket full of pins. First off, I don't agree with going on anyone's profile. I think that just sets you up for a whole shit ton of like just fuckery, disappointment, heartache, you know, like why you want to hurt your own feelings again. So I make it a point. I really don't go on anyone's profile. I don't give a shit what you are, who you are. I don't go on people's profiles. It's very, very, very rare for me. And the only time I actually do is if I'm seeing something on social media and I don't know you and your energy and what you're writing, either in your post or on someone else's post, just really resonates with my heart. Like I see the beauty in you. Then I might go to your profile to see if that was like a one-time thing or if this is just who you are. Like I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. I was on Facebook checking my things, and then I saw someone's post, and they were talking. They were pissed about something. I don't know why. Maybe relationship problems. And I saw the first comment that was highlighted as I was scrolling made me pause, and I had to see the full exchange between the original poster and the commenter, because the commenter's view was just so fucking beautiful to the point where I was like, oh my God, I have to see if like, is it just this? Is it just this post that you're like? And then I saw their post on their profile and I was like, oh my God, what a beautiful soul. And I don't message anybody. I ended up having to log in to Messenger just to message this person like, you know, I just want to thank you for having such a beautiful fucking soul and being willing to share the words of your heart publicly. That's all. That was it. And then I logged back out of Messenger and I'm good. I don't need further. I want to validate you. So when you're going on someone else's profile to get validation for yourself, that's a completely different thing. At what point do you stop going there to check? At what point? At what point do you recognize that you've become addicted to snooping, stalking? At what point? And it's very, very easy to get addicted to that where, you know, oh, maybe you're checking once a week or once a month. And now it's once every other week. And now it's once a week. And now it's daily. And then it's multiple times a day. I'm good off that. I'm really good off that. I don't have time for that type of crap. I don't have the patience or the willingness for that type of obsession. Nope. So it's up to you. If you feel like you need to go on someone else's profile to look at stuff, like me personally, if we're not having conversation, then I don't need to look at your profile. And my besties, we have conversation pretty much every day. I don't go looking on their profiles. In fact, Facebook often hides their posts from me. And that's fine. That's fine. I'll come across whatever I need to see. And that's the thing. Like, do you need to see it? Do you? Or are you further feeding, amplifying this insecurity? If you've moved on without me, have a wonderful life. Keep going in that direction. My road takes me somewhere else. And if the paths cross somewhere else, then they cross somewhere else. But I'm not keeping tabs on you. I'm not keeping tabs on you. I'm not going to look and see if, oh my God, oh, is that post about me? You know what? If you don't have the courage to say it to me, then it's not about me. It's so easy to go, even, you know, if it's someone that you have an issue with, it's so easy to go on their profile and see them posting about things and everything's like, oh my God, they're talking shit about me. Are they though? Are you that important that now their entire social media is dedicated to you? I mean, I'm totally like, because before people did, they used to post hella shit about me. And people would see that and they would send it to me. And I'm like, how do you know this is about me? I don't feel like this is about me. It doesn't resonate. You're talking about someone who's a lying ass bitch. No, it doesn't resonate with me. You could be talking about anybody. That's just how I see it. Unless you write my name there, unless you write details that are specifically like, you know, there's no denying this. You know. And even then, if you ain't got the balls to say it to me, I don't really give a shit. I really don't give a shit. That's your way of venting. Congratulations. That's part of your healing. Got nothing to do with me. So if you guys can take in that mindset where it has nothing to do with me, that's their way of healing, has nothing to do with me. If they can't say it to my face, it's not about me. You'll avoid quite a bit of the bullshit. I don't think you're Michael. Don't go on people's profiles. I don't think that was Michael. Because then in comes again another instruction. Michael never tells me what to do. That's not like Michael will phrase things in a question form to try and encourage me to make a decision. But he does not tell me you have to go check. That's a violation of sovereignty. That's not Michael. Don't look at anyone's profile. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because again, it's a setup for some bullshit. It is a total setup for some bullshit. Now I'm wondering, Are we attracting to us the very thing that we need to get triggered to move forward from obsessions? Is this what it is? Like for some of us, we're attracting the very thing that's going to help us be triggered enough to just be like, fuck that, I'm done with it. For others of us, we're attracting the very thing that's going to help us to realize, okay, I'm avoiding the processing of certain stuff. Excuse me. And I need to process. You can only process in stillness. And if your environment right now creates so much like disharmonic energy and waves, like clashing of alleged truths, then you need to spend that time alone to process. Okay? Spend that time alone to process. Remember, all that information that was coming in previous for this reading, question that. I don't like the energy of it. It was a very subtle, like, telling you have to do something. Michael doesn't tell you what to do. Okay? He never tells you what to do. That's how you know the difference between Michael and a mimic. I've had plenty of people tell me that Michael instructed them to destroy me. Like, bitch, are you kidding? You're so fucking full of shit. You're talking to a demon for real. Michael don't even tell me to fucking eat right. He's just, is that what you really want to do? That's really what you want to do? That's all he says. Like, I ate some chips last night. Some Fritos honey barbecue twists. And as I was stuffing my face, he's like, is this the best decision for you? Fuck you. I'm eating this shit at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And I woke up in pain. And then he didn't say anything else. He don't tell you what to do. So invisible. There's something that you're not seeing. This detail is going to help you better understand whatever it is you need to understand. This is just a detail, okay? They are the best, aren't they? They fuck me up so bad, though. I don't know why I ate it. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to be willful. What's invisible? What is it that's invisible? I'm wondering if you're already feeling it, that you were feeling it a while ago. I want to say maybe like 3 months ago. Ooh, for some of us, it's even been about a year. You really want those tacos? Fuck yeah. He didn't even talk to me about tacos now. He's just like, right when I start thinking, oh, I'm going to eat some tacos. Whatever it is, for some of you, you've been feeling it for about a year. Okay, this is like the truth kind of wiggling its way up to the surface. I'm wondering. There's been a lot of interference. Over the past year, there's been a lot of interference regarding the very things that are like needing to be healed. So much interference. A lot of back and forth, a lot of wrecking ball activity, like tearing down the beliefs that caused so much aggravation within you. So the world, the brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, a journey that's now complete. Oh my God. I love this. I love this. So maybe this is you giving yourself permission to move forward from whatever that was that like kept you so confined to some weird ass belief system. It's time to move forward. Really, it is. You know, move forward in your journey. And if there's going to be some sort of reconnection with a person, that's going to be further down. That's going to be after you've realized the things you need to realize and grown in the ways you need to grow. Because the person you were when that toxic explosion happened between you and another, unless you grow from there, you're just asking and begging for that same toxicity to be repeated. I'm good off that. Unless we can come to a point where we're in alignment with the respect of each other and you know, just really moving forward from this limited belief of what the connection actually is, then I'm not interested in the connection with anyone. This is not just like divine counterpart stuff. I'm talking about with anyone, with everyone. Unless you can meet me where I am, I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully you'll catch up, or, you know, our paths will cross in some other way. I'm not going back there. I'm not. It's just like, I'm about efficiency. Unless going back there helps me to access a different road that will propel me further along my journey, I'm not going back there. It's just, there's no point. There's no point. Card number 17, the Star. Look to the future with hope and optimism. The power of faith to move mountains. Happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. I'm wondering if maybe you being like stuck in a specific cycle because something happened in the past and you were kind of stuck in that cycle. It's kept you in a very challenging phase of your learning. And if you're able to move away from that, the challenges then disappear. They begin to dissolve, and then eventually they just disappear. I think this is about rebalancing your life and your perception, where you're taking your focus from this individual, whoever it is to you. It could even be like a parent, a child, coworker, best friend. It could be, you know, whatever. You're taking your focus from that and you're circling it back around to yourself. That's important to do. I mean, it's nice to be able to be there for people, but it's not nice to allow ourselves to use other people as an excuse to keep ourselves from growing. Okay. And sometimes we do that. Oftentimes we do, let's be honest. We do that a lot. Okay. We do that a lot, where we use other people's needs, what we consider their needs, to excuse our behaviors, where we're using them as an excuse to not work on the things we need to work on. Why is that? Because it's so painful. It makes you cry. And if it still makes you cry, it isn't done healing. And this is for every aspect of your life. What if you have like this toxic connection with another person who you've labeled as divine counterpart, and that toxic connection is really a mirroring of toxicity from your childhood that you haven't addressed yet? What's that about? I don't know. I've been ignoring it my whole life. Yeah. Yeah. I recognize after a certain point that the thing that triggered me the most, because again, I wasn't actually abandoned. I wasn't actually disrespected in that way. But the feeling of the potential of that is what triggered me in my interactions with a former counterpart. And I realized after I had freaking had an absolute shit fit and just like, fuck it, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want no friends. Because that's what happened. I realized, oh, okay, it's not actually the person. I was just triggered from like a sense of abandonment from childhood. Oops, sorry. You know, and it really brought my attention to all these aspects of me and that inner child that needed to be corrected. Not corrected as in punished, but the perception of it. You know, like, was it a case of like abandonment because I'm not good enough? Or did all of these things that I perceived as a pathology of my childhood, was that really so that I wouldn't need that external validation from anyone else, where I'm just self-contained? And this self-containment is such an elevated form of self-protection for the work that I'm going to do later on in life. You know, I came to a lot of realizations, and it took me years. It actually took me years to process this and really understand, like, oh, okay, so that triggered this, which triggered this, which triggered this, only to help me understand that all of this, it grows me. All of this is where my power comes from. Could you imagine how powerful it is to not need external validation, external confirmation, to just be like, you know what? This is it. This is my truth. Take it or leave it. And if you leave it, that's okay. If you take it, beautiful. What are your thoughts on it? Oh, you don't agree? That's okay too. because it doesn't diminish me or my worth or my definitions of my truth. Mine is mine, and it's okay. But it's nice to be able to talk about it with you and share thoughts. So recognize how all of the things that you go through, these are all things that are happening for you. And it might even take the rest of your life for you to understand why that happened and how it works for you, how it better shaped you into the person you're growing to be. Okay? Not everything is just like, I was victimized, I was abandoned, I was rejected, I was, no. I mean, that could be an aspect of it, but there's always something behind that superficial hurt. There's always something behind that. Yeah. So as I get the other cards ready, I would just like to say I find it very offensive when I'm doing a general reading for the 87, 88 people who are here with me right now, and there is an individual who wants me to focus on them. Please understand, this is more than just about you. There are other people trying to receive their message. And I probably shouldn't even said anything, but I feel like I have to speak my truth today. I can't just keep telling myself to be quiet on that kind of stuff. So card number 14, wise leadership. You can't lead without the truth, okay? If you're not going to be honest with yourself, if you're not going to allow yourself to express your truth, then what is it? A secret, a potential lie, another way for people to shame you into submission, into silence. So me speaking my truth just now regarding, people requesting I do personal readings for them during a general reading for so many other people. If I had just kept quiet on that, then I would have spent the rest of my day shaming myself. Like, girl, why are you like that? Why do you have to keep, just let it go, just let it go. But if it's there, why should I let it go? Why should I continue to push my personal feelings and my personal need off to the side? Why don't I just address it right then and there, and then I can walk away from it? That's how you lead yourself. That's how you lead other people. By allowing yourself to recognize the skeletons in your closet are what gives you the foundation. It's what allows you to move. Without the skeleton, the muscles have nowhere to anchor to. You won't be able to move forward. So instead of hiding that skeleton in your closet, start using it. Start using it. Start allowing your power to attach to the places that need to be attached to. And it's in that insertion point that the muscle can actually begin doing what it's created to do. Create movement. It's time to stop being ashamed that you don't agree, that you don't consent, that, this and that. It's okay for you to be a real person and have real feelings and be happy, be sad, be offended, feel praise, all of that. All of that is okay. It's okay for you to verbalize your boundaries. Because again, unless you do, you're leading people in a roundabout way to continue trampling on those boundaries that you so quietly and desperately want respected. And if you're not going to enforce it, boundaries are nothing more than lines in the sand. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. They will continue. And it will escalate. And then at some point, you're going to believe the lie that you're not enough, that that's all you deserve. So do yourself a favor, nip it in the bud now before it becomes a major issue. And if it's already a major issue, be honest with yourself. That major issue was created to help teach you that you deserve more than that. People who experience extremely abusive relationships, when they finally exit that, it's my hope that they recognize, I had to go through that to understand I didn't have to carry forward toxic cycles that I was a part of or witnessed as a child. Like, I deserve more than that. One of the most beautiful, powerful things that I hear from people who share with me their stories of domestic abuse is that, now, after a certain point, I realize I deserve more than that. Fuck yes, you do. You deserve more than that. And I'm so glad you chose to take back your dignity, to take back your personal power. In those types of abusive relationships, you're not allowed to speak your truth. You're not allowed to say anything that doesn't cater to the distortions of the toxic person, the abuser. And if you're going to correct it, you have to correct it. You have to verbalize. You have to make clear. And so now it's time for you to make clear to yourself, like, what you need. What do you need? What do you need from other people? Card number 21, it's time to lead. So we have wise leadership, and it's time to lead. This is really about you taking your rightful role as a sovereign, because the definition of sovereignty is the utmost authority. If you are going to be the utmost authority, that means you are going to dictate where you take yourself. If you're going to allow yourself to be taken back by yourself to places of toxicity, then hey, there's a reason for that. You're being brought back there by you for a reason. Process it. Find what answers you need in that circumstance that you're reliving. And then it won't keep coming back in that way. It only keeps coming back until you learn what you needed to learn from that type of connection, from that memory, that experience, whatever it is. People often ask me, like, I don't understand why I keep ending up in the same kind of relationship. Well, you didn't learn what you needed to learn the first time around. 99% at 9:59. If you learn what you needed to learn, then you'll see the warning signs as that type of person is brought back to you. Not the same person, but that type of energy. You already know the warning signs. You already know when this is going to go back to a place that's very abusive to you. And if you're not going to listen to that guidance, you're going to go right back there. And hopefully you learn it the second time. But it's not uncommon for people to not learn it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, the seventh time, the eighth time, until their resistance to their truth is beaten down so hard that there's no more resistance to it. This is the truth of it, and now I have to face it. And once you face it, you can lead yourself through it, okay? So card number 15, big, bold vision. You're being given a big, bold vision of your life, where your life needs to go. All this mention of leadership, it's time to lead, and needing a big, bold vision, that's telling me you're being asked by your soul to take yourself to a different place within yourself, to see your life right now in a different way. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to see your life right now in a different way because your life right now sucks and it's bad. Sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes it doesn't suck, and you just need to see it in a different way so you can better appreciate how much you've grown, how far you've gone. Because it's so easy for us to not recognize how far we've actually grown. Just in a few weeks, a few months, a few years, you know, I'm not the same person I was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I'm a different person. Every day I shift just a little bit. Sometimes I become a different person in a single day. And that's okay. It's not because I don't know who I am. It's because I'm in the process of allowing the truth, the real truth of who I am to rise up. And that's another thing, is that so many of us, when we go through this process, we have this like really deep hurt. And it's not an unfounded hurt, okay? It's not like, oh, you just get over it. No, it's such a deep hurt of, I feel so lost. I don't know who I am. Well, that's because you're becoming an even more authentic version of yourself right now. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit to acclimate. You're not actually lost. You're being guided through terrain that you've never traveled. Have you ever traveled somewhere long distance driving and you've never been there before and you're like, what is this place? Are we almost there? Are we almost there? That's the same thing that's happening with you right now. If you're being encouraged to travel to different places within yourself, you will feel lost a lot. As you travel to more and more new places, you will feel more and more lost. Doesn't mean you actually are. But that sensation needs to be recognized for what it is. You're embarking on an adventure to rediscover who you are. This is the person you've always been, beneath all the layers of other people's expectations. Because your identity right now is not who you actually are. It's not. It's not who you actually are. It's a compilation of other people's expectations of who they want or need you to be based on their personal preference and their personal needs. That's who you are right now. Unless you've begun to realize and become rebellious to society's expectations of you, and that includes familial expectations, then that's not who you are. It's not, okay? And it might feel really ugly for me to say this, but it's the truth. Until you can do what you do without being afraid of other people knowing, you're still hiding your truth. There's nothing I do behind the scenes that I'm not too embarrassed for the public to know. Nothing. Literally nothing. Nothing. And if I'm going to be embarrassed, if someone else finds this out, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because then that means it's not in alignment with me and my truth. So I'm not doing it. So let's see. Change is coming, okay? Change is a wheel. Change is the only constant that we have in this life. Everything else, whatever you're trying to hold on to, unless you're willing to allow it to change, unless you can hold it in a way that allows it to continue to change, it will break apart. This includes relationships, friendships, work, all of it. Every single aspect of your life. Unless you can hold it in such a way where it has the freedom to shift and change organically, it will break apart. It will falter. It will become irrelevant to you. So this change is necessary, okay? Whatever this change is. Hold on. There is something. I think I've read it before. Hold on. I randomly heard it in my sleep and I put it in my phone. To hold the truth means to hold it softly. That was so deep. To hold the truth means to hold it softly. Yep. And that was on September 9th at 4:53 a.m. So 9/9/2020, 4 plus 5 is 9 and 3. 4 times 5 is 20. So the numbers of that are beautiful as well. To hold the truth means to hold it softly. When you can hold something softly, you're confident in its purpose in your life. When you grip tightly and hold real tight like a death grip, that's fear. That's a fear-based thing. That's because there's a part of you that knows it's not meant to stay. It's not really a part of your truth, a part of your journey. It was temporary. So when you hold on to things, to people, to situations in that way, that's not truth. You're holding on to an illusion. And if it's an illusion, then it's a hologram, a holograph, fog. Try holding on to that. Try gripping that tightly and see what happens. Nothing. You end up cramping. You end up injuring yourself. You end up injuring your feelings. To hold the truth is to hold it softly. You're going to be deceived. So you're either going to be deceived by someone outside of you or you're already deceiving yourself. And that's just something that needs to be noted. It's up to you what you're going to do with that information. Queen of Summer, loving, comforting, emotional, intuitive. Listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others, perhaps too much. I'm wondering if maybe you're putting too much stock in other people's stuff. You know, there's such a common thing of like, oh, but they're my twin and I need to help them learn. Who do you think you are? That you're so above, that you've learned all your lessons and now you're going to be teaching someone because you know more than them. You're so much more advanced than them. They're making the wrong decisions based on your perception, and so now you have to correct them. Yeah, all of that is bullshit. You don't know more than someone else about their journey. Just because it's what you want doesn't make it right for them. Just because you think it's right doesn't actually make it right. And that's some really hard stuff to hear, but you need to hear it. If you're still in that mindset of, I have to heal my twin. No, you have to heal the aspects of you that are wounded and being reflected back to you from that twin. Amen, Jen. No, he has to figure out his own shit. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let them figure out their own shit. Stop making projects of people as a way to avoid working on your own things. Okay? That's a way to avoid working on your own issues, your own struggles, your own distortions. And, you know, if we're going to be very, very honest, which we always are, this is a fact. The more you ascend in consciousness, the more you recognize the human brain is incapable of receiving full-on truths, of receiving universal facts and truths, and really, really understanding and learning about creation without the distortions, at least. So the more you ascend in consciousness, the less you'll be willing to try and dominate someone and tell people you know more. Because then you recognize, wow, I really don't know too much. People might think I know a lot, but I really don't. Shit. There's so much that the mind just can't process. We're just so limited in our ability to grasp universal truth. So stop trying to save someone else and be honest with yourself. You're trying to hold on to something with force, something that probably doesn't want to actually stay. And let go of that lie. No, it's just, he's with his karmic right now, and his karmic is so evil. And no, he's exactly where he chooses to be. 93% at 1010. 9 is the number of creation, creator. 3 is the number of a solid foundation. Creation is creating a solid foundation from which you can begin to see clearly that a journey is needing to take place. 1010. Yeah. So, Princess of Winter, inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. So there you go. There's so many things that we can excuse away, so many things that we can kind of use as a reason why we don't have to work on ourselves right now, why something else, something else, something else. And every time you do that, you are interfering with someone else's divine journey. This is a fact. No one outside of me knows about me or my journey more than myself. And for me to give away my power to you so that you can dictate to me something you don't even understand, that's foolish. That's absolutely foolish on both people's parts. For me to think that you can handle what I've lived through without knowing what I've lived through, and for you to think you know me more than you actually do, that's foolish. That's how you create dependencies. That's how you trauma bond. That's how you do all of this other stuff that really creates way more problems than you already have. There will be people who you come across who might be able to resonate with you might be able to share parts of their journey that they feel comfortable sharing, and you guys can talk and share and like empower each other. But to think that you have the answers for me, yeah, you don't. You don't have any answers that I'm not ready or willing to hear. And the reason I'm ready and willing to hear it from you is because I've already heard it from myself so many times. So instead of wasting your time doing that, why don't you just focus on your own growth and allow the people who cross paths with you to encourage and inspire you by the sharing of their own growth, their own process. This is now about you. This is now about your growth. So card number 26, set personal boundaries. It is no one else's job to protect you. You are to protect yourself. You are to create and establish and maintain personal boundaries. And if you're going to let other people dictate what those boundaries are, then they're not yours. That's a hostile takeover. That's an act of spiritual war. This is the very reason why I am so averse to others attempting to dominate me, even with just energy. That is a fucking declaration of spiritual war. You attempt to do that, we gonna fight. I will never back down. I will never give in. You will never dominate me. Why is that? Because I've entered a phase of my journey in my life where I fully embrace the truth of my sovereignty. Even if I lose that fight, I'd rather die fighting. You will never dominate this sovereign. And it's not about being foolhardy and just being stubborn. And the people who really want to help you, who are brought to you to help you, has nothing to do with domination. You don't have to listen to them. And if they require that you listen to them because they're here to save you, they're full of shit. Absolutely full of shit. I don't care how amazing the things they say sounds. It's bullshit. For the devil can also quote scripture to serve his needs. It's bullshit. I don't care if you've memorized all the Vedic texts and you are a master of esoterica. You're not a master of me. Know your fucking place. Back the fuck up. I decide for myself what you say is what I'm going to take in. And I have the right, the authority, and the ability to reject everything you say because you are not my king. You are not my queen. I have my own fucking kingdom. You have to enter this phase of your journey where you are willing to go to war for yourself. Not just that. Allow yourself to evolve enough to not just be willing to go to war for yourself, but to also recognize when war is just, it's a waste of my time. You're just really, I don't want to bother with you. I just don't want to bother with you. I'm not going to learn anything from this. It's a waste of my energy. So I'll move forward. You can just keep saying whatever you want. You're not going to reel me back in. Because sometimes that's what they do. They say things, they do things, they message and harass because they're trying to reel you back in. They're trying to get you to engage. Tell me how powerful it is to be able to decide, oh, you missed me with your bullshit. Oh, there you go again. You missed me again. I'm not playing with your shit. Fuck that. I got other things to do. And really mean it. I have so much that I'm trying to learn through right now. I don't have time for that. I'm processing my own internal conflicts, my own growth. What? Bring muffins? I can't have gluten or grains or dairy or much of anything else. So I'll make my own muffins. So salvation, card number 17. People will peddle this concept of they're going to save you. Salvation, please. I am my own Messiah. That's a fact. I am my own Messiah. I'm not trying to recruit or hire another. All I need is one in this life. And she's already present. Don't allow people to use your own insecurities to further entrap you, to further manipulate you into giving your power away to them. You know, even doctors sometimes, the doctors who are doctors because of ego, they hate me. They don't like me. But the doctors who are the good doctors, who are very skilled and really want to help the patient, they fucking love me. They love me. You know why? Because I'm going to ask the questions. I'm holding myself accountable for the outcome of my life. If you tell me, oh, you're going to need this, this, and this, you're going to need this surgery. Okay, well, what is the goal for that surgery? Why do I need it? How does that affect the diagnosis and the treatment plan afterwards? And they hate when I ask that kind of shit. They wanted to do some sort of exploratory procedure. They were guessing, hypothesizing that there was a blockage in the circle of Willis from my mother's brain. And has to do with cardiovascular stuff. And they wanted to inject a radioactive isotope into her blood so they could see how it travels through her head. You're not doing that when she has kidney failure. You're going to have to fucking explain to me what's going to be the outcome of the results. Does that change the treatment plan in any way? And the doctor said, he was offended. I don't give a shit if you're offended. I need to know. Well, no, ma'am, it doesn't change the treatment plan, but it gives us a better idea. Well, then it doesn't need to be done. If you're still going to be in the same place where you need to balance the medication between the heart and the kidneys, then just do that. You don't need no extra shit that's going to shut her kidneys down in order for you to have your ego fluffed. Oh, it was what I thought. Fuck that shit. I don't think so. You have to ask. You have to know what your options are. And sometimes people will put things in terms that will really up their ego even more. Like these doctors, I was fighting with a cardiologist, nephrologist, neurologist, specialist. And one of them was so ego-filled and he was using medical terms. And I said, hold on, please write that down. I would like to Google the definition so I could better understand what you're attempting to communicate with me. Since you fail to realize you need to use layman's terms. Give me a minute. Come back in 5 minutes. I'm going to Google all this shit. And I'll speak to you in the language you choose to use because you're ego. You're not here for the patient. People will use that kind of shit because they're not there for you. They're there for what your circumstance can do for their ego. This applies to every part of your life. They're there for what your circumstance can do for their ego. This is the very reason. I'm not humble, you guys. I'm just realistic. If I allow my ego to go that way, where I need recognition, where I need you to verify for me that I have the abilities that I know I have, that's a major fucking liability. That is a wide door for parasitic bullshit to enter my life. I don't think so. I don't need the credit. I really don't. You're doing it yourself. I don't need the credit. Your circumstance, I feel honored that you would allow me to assist with that. But my worth is based on what I can do for myself. My value is based on what I'm teaching myself and learning from my life situation. From all the circumstance that I lived through, that's what's helping me to learn how strong I actually am. I'm never going to use you to help me understand the value of me. So don't let people do that to you. Bottom line. Don't let people do that to you. I sure did fucking shut them down. They thought they were like, what medical school did you go to? I went to google.com is what medical school fuck that shit. You're not going to fucking intimidate me from advocating for my mother. Card number 33, heaven sent. All of this stuff that we are talking about, all of the things that you're living through, it is heaven sent. Just because you're afraid of pain Just because your fear has been allowed to cripple you does not mean it wasn't heaven sent. Hell, even the demons were heaven sent. Because what are demons? Fallen angels. And just because they fell does not negate the fact that they are angels. They're just a certain type of angel, one that utilizes dark means to accomplish the same ends. Everything in your life is heaven sent. Allow yourself to receive the messages. Allow yourself to receive these intuitive hits. All of these things, you're being given so much on a day-to-day basis, but we often dismiss it all. We often dismiss it all just because we have such a hard time accepting we really are that smart. We really are that intuitively advanced, that we have a direct connection to divinity. Yo, there's nothing that I'm going to tell you that you weren't already kind of suspecting but ignoring. There's really nothing. I had someone message me yesterday wondering, someone from my life wondering if they're having voodoo done on them. And it's like, okay, well, first, why do you ask me that? Well, because this, and this. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Okay, well, you already know. That means you already know. You're already being told this shit is being done to you. You already know, but you don't have the confidence in yourself yet to just accept this as like, okay, you know what? Now I got to do something about this. Now I got to neutralize it. So we all are being given information. It doesn't matter if you practice spiritual things or not. It doesn't matter if you meditate or not, or any of that. That's all just pomp and circumstance. As advanced as I am, I don't like how that sounds. It feels like ego. As developed as I know myself to be, I can't meditate for myself for shit at all. I can lead a bomb-ass meditation for all of you. Meditating for myself, I can't do that shit. Doing yoga, because I have highly stretchy ligaments, I injure myself, even with proper form. All of these concepts that we think like you have to do these things in order to be spiritually superior, it's all bullshit. I was vegan for about 6.5 years. I was at the verge of organ damage. Strict vegan for 6.5 years. I'm not talking about junk food vegan. I'm talking about home cooking made from scratch vegan. Made me very, very sick. So, schizophrenia. If you're going to hold on to your old life while trying to reach for your new one, you will experience schizophrenic type things. Really, there's so many articles that have been written regarding schizophrenia and shamanic journeys. Oftentimes, true mental illness is not actual mental illness. There is true mental illness, yes, but that's not as common as we're led to believe. It's not common at all. A lot of the things that's being diagnosed are the shamans being medicated back into slumber. Hey, if you just take a look at me, I'm out. Who the fuck is she talking to? There's no one in the room with her. She's talking to someone. She hears things. She sees things. She's schizophrenic. No, I'm not. Schizophrenic people don't do Google searches and use medical literature to diagnose themselves and then make an appointment to see the doctor to request to be institutionalized. That's not schizophrenia. Mental health issues are simply issues. Mental illness, it's everyone else that's wrong. Why are you trying to call me crazy? I'm not crazy. That's one of the signs of mental illness. When you're wondering, like, am I crazy? You're probably not. You're probably not. You're probably experiencing an increase in your higher sensory perception. And because this world doesn't give you permission to, now you have to label yourself as diseased in some way. What if the world is a disease? What if your disease is the cure? That's some deep shit. What if the world is a disease and your disease is the actual cure? That's some really deep shit. Card number 18, the moon. Powerful, intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. I mean, for this card to pop up, and I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read that far. I can't read that far. In order for me to know what the card means, I have to look at it, and you see that. So this is basically confirming what I just said. What if the world is the disease and your disease is the cure? The moon often is about things that are hidden. It's time for you to stop hiding who you actually are, what you actually are in this life to do. Card number 13, release. Let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. There you go. It's time to move on. It's time to create space within your field, within your consciousness, within your heart, within your life, for new things that are more in alignment, more in alignment with you and where you're headed. You can't keep holding on to the old stuff just because you're loyal. The conclusion is complicated. Why is it complicated? Because we require it to be. We have some level of genius within us. All of us do. All of us. I remember years ago, my son was, God, I forgot. I think he was 3 or 4. We were doing algebra together. He was already capable of algebra at 3 or 4 years old. And there was this one problem. It was a very, very easy problem. I just threw in, like, you know, an easy problem. And instead of just doing the operation from left to right like you're supposed to, it was too easy. So he went ahead and did this very complex thing without writing it down. And it came to the right answer, but it added so many different complex steps to it. And I'm like, why didn't you just do this? He goes, that's not right. It can't be right. It's too easy. And here I am, very efficient mother. I went ahead and I called specialists. Like, does my child have dyslexia? Because I have dyslexia. Is this a learning disability? And I got paired up with the most phenomenal advocate for profoundly gifted children. No, that's just a sign of intelligence. If it's too easy, they'll go ahead and complicate it because it makes more sense. We're actually a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for. We're a lot smarter than what we give ourselves credit for. And sometimes when you're just that smart, whether it's recognized or not is irrelevant. When you're just that smart, something so simple couldn't possibly be the solution. What's the most common question I get from people who are asking for support in their attempt to empower themselves? The most common question, how do I let go? Are you serious? like it used to blow my mind. Like, are you serious? What do you mean, how do you let go? Failing to remember. I was asking that same question years ago. Well, you see your hand, close it around something real tight. And you just open your hand. That's letting go. That's letting go. Well, but how does that solve my problems? It doesn't. You can now see what it is. And because you see what it is, now you can start trying to figure out what to do about it. But so long as your hand is gripped around it, you're not going to see what's in your hand. You're not going to see what's right in front of you. So everything is easy. Everything really is. Our perception of it is what makes it not easy. Our loyalty to old ways of being is what makes it so not easy. if maybe your period button is stuck. All right, so let me just stop. Let me just stop. It's a human perception, you know? There's a lot of things that I thought were so difficult because I overanalyze things. I'm highly analytic. I overanalyze. I overcompensate for all these ways in which I think I'm not enough and I don't have the answer. And that further complicates everything, you know? Sometimes it's not so easy when we look at it from the viewpoint of lack of faith. And I'm not talking about faith in something else. I'm talking about faith in yourself. Because faith and hope is the precursor to gnosis, to knowing. You have to have some level of faith in hope, in intangible things, that your life will give you circumstance to experience tangibly. And when you do that, when you experience the intangible through tangible means, tangible circumstance, you then are open to the potentiality of entering a state of gnosis. Gnosis being wisdom, being knowing. Because wisdom is knowing put into action. And you can't become wise without first experiencing the intangible through tangible circumstance. It's a conundrum. It is. It is. All right, guys. We don't need to question ourselves so damn much. Maybe it's the opposite. I'm just being combative now. But really, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe we don't question enough and just blindly listen to and accept other people's words as our truth instead of questioning. I'm not going to take in anything people say without first questioning within myself. I mean, I'm probably not going to say anything to you and just question within myself, but I need to see that thing from all the different angles before I allow it in. And I won't be able to see that without questions. So you guys, I hope this video has helped in whatever way we're needing help. If you could give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go and be combative on my own. I love you guys. Bye.